What's up, and welcome to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, episode 159.
We're going.
Woo!
It's happening.
Almost 160.
I have no idea what we're going to do for 200. That's going to be like next year sometime.
I know that's
so far away. It's
brain's like, what?
It's far enough out. It's like, no, we'll start talking about that when we get to like 190.
Yeah, it's sometimes up. But yes, we are bringing you that Monday Energy Live. If you're watching us live, awesome. Welcome. Join us over in the live chat. And if you're watching later, welcome, and comment down below the different stuff we're going to cover. We're going to get into some anime news, talk about Go Loser Ranger, and recommendations for things to check out and more. So stick around for all of that. Get into some intros. Hello, I'm Carrie Lane.
And I'm Katie Cullen.
And also, don't forget to go check us out over on Twitter and Blue Sky at NTATNB. And we post links there and videos and some more of the news kind of information we get, as well as don't forget to be following here on Fanversations YouTube channel. Subscribe, thumbs up the video. You know what to do.
Yes. Hit the bell so you know when we go live and know when the other shows go live and all that fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know how YouTube works at this point in time. Like, everyone has that smash that like button thing that they say. So like,
I feel smash the like button just sounds weird, but I don't know.
It's like, what did the like button ever do to you?
Yeah, and I'm like, what are you? Is it like a buzzer smash? Like, okay.
It's just like, okay. The one I do on my channel, because at one point I just forgot what things were called. I went like, subscribe, ding, and it stuck.
Oh.
So
that one kind of works out because Bell. I get that one. I follow. Yeah, that one's good.
No, I forgot that it was called a bell. I was like, all right, like, subscribe, ding, and I'm like, great. Now the sign off includes the phrase like, subscribe, ding. We have fun here.
Yes. So let's get right into it. Things we are excited about. Kicking off, there is a new promotional trailer and new characters revealed for a new anime coming out, which I'm like, I love the style. This is fun. From Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman. I was like, that just sounds adorable. But yeah, this is from NBC Universal Entertainment Japan, announced that there's a now 4th promotional video for the ongoing anime. It tells you what's going to be in it, so you're going to have to go watch it, because I'm like, no, we want to save that secret. But new characters and character art are announced, so that's pretty cool. So okay, here we go. The anime is currently streaming exclusively worldwide on Prime Video and has been doing very well, apparently, according to the rankings. So we'll post a link for that, which I'm like, again, go follow NTATMV. We'll post a link for that trailer and some photos, because we get some cute character art with the voice actors. I have not heard of the show, so I love hearing about anime that exists on other platforms. And yes, there is so much content out there, but yay for new stuff.
I'd heard about it, and it's on my list.
It looks cool. I like the art style. I'm like,
the spring season just has such a long list. It's like, it's on my list. I have so many things on that list, but we're working through it.
Yes.
That is on it. It does look fun.
All right. And real quick, looking for the chat. Gig there goes, it's a good show. Nice. And also, hi. Hello. Yes, thanks for sharing that. Mm-hmm. Continuing
on with things that look a lot of fun. How many of you have been watching Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quacks? Because that is how GQUUUX is evidently pronounced, as G-Quacks. Well, if you've been enjoying it, it's coming to Anime Expo. We're already getting the Anime Expo announcements. It is in two months at this point, May, June, July. It's beginning of July, so
less than 2.
Month and a half. What is time, truly?
Yeah.
Time is a flat circle, and that is why clocks are round. Anyway, Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quacks takes the stage at Anime Expo 2025, bringing a special screening, creator talk show, and musical performance to Anime Expo. Bandai Namco Filmworks announced on May 12th, today, that the latest installment in the Gundam series, Mobile Suit Gundam G-Quacks, a first ever collaboration between Studio Khara and Sunrise, will participate in Anime Expo 2025, North America's largest anime convention. So they are going to, let's see. Scrolling through to see, here we go, event logistics. So it's going to be on Thursday, July 3rd. So day one of the con. And I believe, yeah, it's at the Peacock Theater. So for those of you who have not been, that's the big one. That is the big one
Nice.
at the convention center. This is huge, and they're giving it the real estate it deserves. So the GQuack special event, Thursday, July 3rd at 11:30 a.m. Pacific. From 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., it's the Mobile Suit Gundam GQuack's beginning screening segment. So I believe it's that movie that was theatrically released. They're going to show it on a big screen. I've been in this theater. It's beautiful. The real estate is amazing. So that big screen experience is going to be a lot of fun. And then from 1 to 2:30, it is the talk and performance segments. The guests include the director, series supervisor, and screenplay, the voice of Amate Yuzuhira. No, I'm doing my best. The voice of Amate Yuzuhira and the executive producer for Gundam, and more. It'll be a movie screening, a talk show, a live music performance, and will include giveaways. You do have to have a badge for AX. It is an AX event, an AX panel, so you will need the badge for it. But yeah, if you're going to Anime Expo and you are a fan of GQuacks, there is that. If you are doing, it looks like we also have another one going on, Japan Expo 2025 at the Paris Nord-Viepont Exhibition Center in Paris, France. So if you're in France, that same weekend, you can go to the panel at Japan Expo. It will be Sunday, July 6th at 10 a.m. CET. And from 10 to 11, it'll be the screening. And then from 11:25 to 12:15, it will be the talk segment. So GQuacks is going to be really busy the weekend of July 4th. And we have a panel at Anime Expo if you're attending in Los Angeles. And we have a panel at Japan Expo in Paris if you're attending that. So either which way, it's a real good time to be a Gundam fan right now.
Yes, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Looking over the chat too, we got Chew Waves.
Hello.
Like very cute. Alrighty, continuing on with news and theatrical. G-Kids has acquired the theatrical rights to Jujutsu Kaisen Hidden Inventory Premature Death, the movie. Another one of those yay for long titles. It will be released theatrically on July 16th, so shortly after Anime Expo. I was like, there's a new movie. I felt I was like, what? So yay for announcements that we tell you guys and then we get to hear about it too. Mm-hmm. The theatrical compilation feature returns to the widely beloved Hidden Inventory Premature Death story arc of Jujutsu Kaisen series. So it features the younger days of Gojo and Geto, and featuring newly remixed sound for immersive theater experience, high quality adaptation. So this sounds like it is then part of that arc as a movie, because it says bring the powerful story back to the big screen. So I'm like, oh, okay, nice. So again, one of those, like, if you didn't watch all the series, this is a nice way to get it all in one chunk.
Yeah, so like the Kaiju number 8 movie, some of the Demon Slayer theatrical releases we've had. And again, if you have done any of the anime remastered theatrical releases that have come down the line, you know how good that sound is in the theater. This will be no exception. And
the show is just gorgeous. So epically on a big screen just sounds so cool. Oh, and the poster is so cute. We'll have to share that as well. But yeah, so mark your calendar for July 16th to get anime on the big screen. And thank you, G-Kids.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's something about that at Anime Expo, given that AX is just a couple weeks ahead of it.
Keep your eyes peeled.
I'm sure there will be some form of Jujutsu Kaisen panel.
Yeah,
like
something.
Just knowing what we do about AX and who the heavy hitters are and everything, like would not be surprised to see a good sized JJK panel.
Yeah.
But yeah, who knows? That's the theory crafting part of it. The part that's definitely happening is that release on July 16th, you said?
Yes. Yep.
Yes. Get tickets.
And then one of those just pretty obvious, but still, again, it will be released in the original Japanese and English dub versions. So
Excellent.
you have both options available to you.
So make sure you read the details on the screening that you buy a ticket for.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, we all enjoy anime in theaters, but if you would also like to enjoy anime at home, Crunchyroll has sent us a reminder for its home entertainment calendar for everything that is becoming available in May this month. So, we talk a lot about pre releases when they drop. We talk a lot about, oh, Crunchyroll has told us about this, and you'll see it in September when it drops. They've taken to sending us these monthly reminders for, hey, remember those things you talked about a while back? Yeah, they've come around. So, on May 13th, we have Welcome to Demon School Iruma-kun Season 3. May 20th, Date Alive V, the complete season, and God's Games We Play, the complete season. May 27th is One Piece Season 14 Voyage 4, which is episodes 929 to 940. And including the anime announcements, because it is anime, Crunchyroll has re-released Perfect Blue and Paprika director Satoshi Kon's psychological thriller series Paranoia Agent and the dark fantasy series Goblin Slayer Season 1, both on Blu-ray in steelbook cases, now available exclusively for purchase in the Crunchyroll store. So, check those out. That's what's becoming available. And again, if it's gift giving season, if you have a gift giving holiday, oh, it sounds like they've also got something else fun going on. To help organize these steelbooks at home, the Crunchyroll store has exclusively debuted the Steel Nook, an open display case made from premium steelbook material designed to fit 4 standard steelbooks from anime and movie series. From anime series to movies. As a special anime deal, when you buy 4 steelbooks, you can get a Steel Nook for free, valid until May 27th. So check out the list of available Steel Nooks as well. So
that's awesome.
You get the fun stuff, and then you get a good way to display them. Like, it really is a one-stop shop there. So that is on the Crunchyroll store. Go check that out. Again, a nice reminder of the stuff that's become available. If you have a gift-giving holiday coming up, if you just want to treat yourself, like, that's what's coming down the line. That's what we're going to have available this month.
All right. And coming to streaming, Crunchyroll is bringing us on Onmyo. There we go. I can say it. Words and things. Onmyo Kaiten Rebirth Verse. So that'll be streaming July 2nd. And it is an animation studio who does Fire Force and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And so this is a new isekai battle action story. And let's see if there's any more information here. To July 2nd. And so it'll be streaming around the world, and new episodes will be broadcast weekly in Japan. So I'm like, so how quickly are we checking to see if it says if I've seen simulcast or not yet?
Yeah.
And original story.
I get the feeling that if it
there we go, synopsis. Sorry, I'm like, no.
I feel like if it does become simulcast, that Crunchyroll will be very upfront.
They're on it.
Whether or not yeah.
All right. So our main character is a delinquent who often thinks about Tsukiyami. Wait, I can read, I swear. Tsukimiya. There we go. The girl who appears in his dreams after an unexpected accident. Takeru finds himself in a parallel universe and the world that Tsukiyama lives in. You dream of her and then you get to go see her. Awesome. When Takeru and Tsukiyama are slain by a monster, he awakens again and realizes he has leapt through time. Now Takeru must train with Abe Senmai to fight for Tsukiyama's life. I was like, yes, all kinds of dramatic and fun isekai and action adventure. So yeah, this sounds pretty exciting. Character design is Kazuaki Morita, Classroom of the Elite, Assassination Classroom, and other big heavy hitters there. So that's pretty exciting. So go check out on Crunchyroll for more information. And there is a subtitle trailer available, and there's at least 2 trailers available for that one.
All right.
All right. Yay for new anime.
Yeah. Sounds like summer season rolling around
Yes,
for that one.
I know, right? It does
All of
get
these
so-
premieres coming in July, and it's like, all right, let's go, summer season.
Yes.
Spring season was a banger, or is
Yes.
currently a banger. Can't
Is
wait
still,
to see what
yeah.
summer brings to. It is still a banger. Like I said,
Oh,
a very long list.
I know. I'm like so many things to watch. Yes.
And we have, bringing things to a close, Dragon Ball Daima, the English dub series finale, airs May 16th only on Crunchyroll. So this is, if you haven't been watching Dragon Ball Daima, it is Akira Toriyama's last work with the Dragon Ball franchise. It has been airing on Crunchyroll. The English dub finale will be May 16th at 1:30 p.m. Pacific, and it will release both episodes 19 and 20 dubbed. So that end of an era, y'all. End of an era.
Mm-hmm.
So that is dropping this Friday. If you have been watching Dragon Ball Daima, that is your 2-episode series finale. Only on Crunchyroll.
Sweet. So yeah, a lot of go follow the different companies we were mentioning too, because then they'll also have further details on everything.
Oh, yeah.
And gentle reminder, make sure to follow us at NTATMB.
Yes.
All right. So now the thing you're probably here for, go loser ranger. Okay. So let's just get to our nice character reveal. I did a golf clap of like, wow.
Which one? We had 2. We had 2.
Our ranger. That was
Fair
one
enough.
where I was like,
Fair enough.
wow. That was one of those we were so close and yet so far away. This guy has something interesting about him. This guy is really unique and there's something different. But I love how neither of us went, he's our...
He just, again, there's something about this guy. My brain is still pinging him as, yeah, I don't think he's human. He seemed like he was grown in a tube. I have no idea. There, again, he might be our greenkeeper, but I think we still got more going on there.
That's true. I think there is something that's very possible that there's more going on with him. But I just thought that was such a great, like, it's so obvious and was like staring us in the face that it's the, you can't see the thing right in front of you. I'm like, oh gosh, why didn't we think like maybe he's the dude?
Because every other keeper we've seen has been in line with something. And also we know that Red Keeper really likes a specific flavor of aesthetics. So there is part of me going,
yes,
why would Red even let him on the mask closes fully?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Like, question answered. And the fact that it's Dan Green levels of he sounds one way as Chidori and another way as the Keeper. It's completely like, unless you are very, very good at picking up voices and going, oh yes, these are both this person when they don't sound anything alike, the voice would not have given it the what we've heard from Greenkeeper so far would not have given Chidori away.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm just not perceptive in that term. I don't know.
Well, and Chidori mentions how he does talk differently with the transformation, how in control of that he is. It could be more of a, just vibe switch, but not necessarily a reflex, because he's like, I'm sorry I said that, like, don't listen to what I said as I was in my form. But that's kind of interesting. But that makes sense of like, you are on in presentation and you just embrace it, and that's a different thing versus his chill, very unique vibe.
Yeah, and again, our introduction to him is him getting arrested by the cops.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those things where you sit here and go, you don't really expect Red Keeper to show up and like bail him out of prison or anything.
No.
They introduce him so well that you just kind of go, all right, he's our weird informant, whatever, that's fine. And you don't even think about like, no, he's combat capable. He was talking about, I have to pull out my ace in a hole, and I'm just sitting here going, is it another gun? Like that was where my brain was, because the fact that he just pulled out gun last episode was so weird to me.
Yeah. How did you feel about that was the reveal of who our Greenkeeper is?
Oh, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
It's hysterical. I'm here for it.
Yes.
I honestly feel like, again, maybe this is me reading too much into the theme or just something going weird, but I don't think that's the most surprising reveal we're going to have for him. I feel like there has to be more in store, because
okay.
again, his file that the police had was nothing.
Yeah.
No last name, no family, prior convictions or prior arrests, but nothing. And so, one, I'm wondering how he became a keeper. I'm wondering if Red does all the recruiting, or if there's other forces at play. We've only seen him recruit Blue. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I'm also wondering, like, who and what he was before he was a keeper. Like this.
What was his life like? Who was he? Yeah.
Because I feel like we cracked open Blue Keeper and like there he was. He was a fun character, but not a lot of layers to him, which is not a bad thing. Just not a lot of layers. Chidori, we're still peeling back the onion. This is one layer.
Yes. So our other reveal.
Yeah. Talk about a snake shedding its skin.
Yes, and that is definitely, I go with the that body is that guy's brother.
Child is dead.
Brothers, nope, gone, long gone.
No, that child is dead. Like, sorry about your younger brother.
Yeah.
Yikes.
That one's another one that, oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Of he's then so closely involved with everything. I found it very funny, let's do a million loops, and then he's probably like, this is fucking annoying. He got to that point where he's like, ugh, you guys, this loop. He was done. Yeah.
Well, and it makes sense that he would have been the one to tell them to come back on a weekday to pull them in, because like if it was someone who wasn't the guy in charge, be like, who the heck are these people and why'd you bring them in? So that does make sense. Yeah, I also do love that it was Dee that picked up on the hang on a minute. The stories don't match.
Yeah.
Hang on. Now I have to think.
Yeah. His like thinking is on like a constipation face of just, he's like, like just trying so hard.
And I do love that there's second in command that she's basically like, I got the glass. You keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, she's like, you're on to something.
That she saw him caught onto something, and instead of going, explain it to me now, it was, all right, you know what you're doing. I'm going to support you. Like, that's good leadership.
Yes.
That's really good leadership.
Yep. I thought she only did a little. I mean, she's already done so much fighting. I was a little underwhelmed by her fighting in this particular battle. Yeah. Because she was so bamf on the last one. But this is a weird, it's like, right? Escher. Yep.
Escher style.
It's an Escher style world. I'm like, all right, that's fair. That definitely throws everyone for a loop more ways than one. And, it's all over the place. And I'm really glad Angel's back to her senses, because, man, her being like, I was over it real fast.
Oh, yeah.
Like, she's leaning with the guy and it's going to crush her. I'm like, dude, just move.
Yeah. I mean, like, we had to lose one. Here's another thing where I'm sitting here going, what is up with Chidori? Never was susceptible to getting whammied.
That's
like,
true.
He wasn't even on the list. There was a point where they just excluded him, because it's like, well, you're not going to fall for this. Like, they just like, why? Did you not have a high school experience?
Yeah.
Again, were you grown in a lab?
Good point.
Where did you come from, sir? Yeah, he feels weird and ethereal in a way that a lot of the characters don't. And I could just fully be barking up the wrong tree. But it really is just like, no, really, even within the tenets of this world, who are you?
Yes, I am with you on that one. There is something to him that is more than
meets the eye,
a lot of these people are unique, but
yeah.
He's a white hair character in anime. That means something special about him. I mean, it's a trope. There's something unique.
Yeah. It really just there aren't a lot of characters in this anime that make me go, "What is your deal?"
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh my gosh, Suzukiri
Mm-hmm.
definitely is, and she's also layers like onions. And Red Keeper is, "What is your deal?" derogatory. Like, something
Mm-hmm.
is super wrong with you, sir. I'm just watching this dumpster fire roll down the hill. But Chidori is very much like, "No, seriously, what is your deal? Who
Mm-hmm.
are you? Like,
Mm-hmm.
where did you give me your backstory episode? What the heck?"
Yeah.
And that's, I think, really good character building and really
Yeah.
good character reveal.
Oh, for sure.
Don't know if there's going to be anything in the center of those layers like onions. I might be
Mm.
expecting too much, but I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Saying Red Keeper makes me want to popcorn over to that. Like, go. Man, I was worried for that child.
I'm glad the child is alive.
I am so glad that child is alive. Me too. It's like, oh shit, this kid's gonna get McMurdered.
This poor kid. I'm glad he's alive. He's just a little traumatized. I was like, all right, you witnessed your teacher die to save your life, and now you're getting gaslit about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a lion. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. Kids who tell lies like that turn into monsters. I'm like, no, the monster's in this room and he's wearing red.
Yeah.
I do want to talk about, just in terms of this, and then our final scene with the kids, because for one, man, I thought snakes could move a lot faster than that. But getting all the little reveals of, oh, okay, she keeps her saber like inside her, and that's how she's able to get the little bits out of her mouth. That's how. Okay. And Magatia just being a snake if he's not borrowing someone else's skin, which is wild to me, but I kind of love it. But there's just this whole end bit with his dying words and the kid's reaction and whatnot. This is where the English major in me, having watched this episode actually 3 times, starts picking things apart. Because this is the point where we start talking about the flow of information and control of information, and it's just all of that, because we see this, everything with the kaiju and Red Keeper has very much been just control of information. The actual monster is not the priority. The priority is schmoozing with donors. The priority is keeping a lid on the news story. And it's not, oh no, the monster. It's, how dare they talk about it without running it by us. It's, oh, these little kids witnessed a lion escape. It was totally a lion. It's very much, again, the control of information and who has control and what they do with it. And looking at Magatia, the emphasis on the wrong syllable. I'm not good at this. Looking at the snake.
I think they were saying Magatia.
Yeah. Just looking at our snake monster.
Yes.
And him insisting that he's doing community service, him really not wavering from the getting away from the pain is the right thing to do. Like earlier on, a few episodes back, he was telling Dee, like, hey, just lie low. Let's live our lives. This whole conquering the world business is done. Let's just. So it does seem like, on the surface at least, he's consistent about what he wants and what he's doing. He's actually practicing what he preaches. And then we see from the students that, like, they wanted to be there.
Yeah, that was interesting. Gone. Not like surprise, but how much they were like, no, I want it back.
But I mean, we saw this when we were first introduced to the dilapidated school, and we saw them there, and everything just really looked messed up and unhappy.
Yes.
And then we had at least one, I think it was Gato, saying they want to be here. All of them want to be here. This is better than what they had. And like, we had the evidence of that, because it's a broken down school in a very, very, what looks like a very poor part of town, or a very poor just town overall. So yeah, this might be better than anything they've had or anything they had access to. So we saw them being very angry about that. We have Magatia's dying words of, don't act like you're everything. The boss monsters are victims of the Dragon Keepers, who are supposedly the purveyors of justice. And we have Gato, who seemed to be the only guy who really actually super cared about the students themselves, leaving them in Dee's care. Like, someone has to take care of these kids. And every adult in this situation, everyone with authority, just fucking off once the monster's dead. Why did both police detectives have to crowd in the back of the car with Gato and presumably 2 officers in the front seat? Aside
Yeah,
from for comedy
it looked very
purposes, that
crowded.
was
Yeah,
very funny.
it looked
But
very
like, why did they both have to be there? Why couldn't a representative of the police department have stayed behind with all of
Mm,
these wayward kidnapped children who were kidnapped, who knows, who have
yeah.
just been released from this illusion? Our greenkeeper, who has a metric ton of authority, drops the costume, which is the symbol of authority, and goes, hey, we're done. Let's go have a party. Everyone
Mhm.
else goes. Like, anyone who could have done anything to help take care of these kids and transition them back into a normal life, or at least their former lives, just fucks off and leaves them there.
Mhm.
Nobody does anything. Nobody cares. Society failed these kids, and society is going to continue to fail these kids because nobody is stepping up. And the one guy who was fully was on board with, yes, the illusory life is better, because he's also been through some noise and is probably super traumatized about it. Like, this is not a good situation for anybody, but everyone who should have taken responsibility went, my job here is done. It's
Yep.
that tuxedo mask meme. My job here is done, but you didn't do anything. Leaves anyway.
Yeah.
It's that. So we have the flow of information, and we have the fish is rotting from the head, and nobody
Mm.
seems to care. Nobody who knows cares or does anything about it. We have all these people talking about taking down the Ranger Force, which fair, honestly.
Yeah.
But we have nobody reaching out to help, like all these displaced, angry kids. So I know it's a comedy. I know it's like, hey, we did the thing. Great, let's go get barbecue. But that's what really sticks with me, is just like, this is part of the reason this society is rotten. They fell through the
Mhm.
cracks, someone else caught them, and we went and fucked up a monster out of duty, vengeance, because we lost other people to it. And again, we just leave all these kids here. So I think it says a lot more about the world building than you get at a surface level.
Mm.
And while I don't buy that the boss monsters are victims of the Dragon Keepers,
Mhm.
we've only seen 2 boss monsters in action for more than the space of a flashback. And
Yeah.
that's Magatia, who was basically seriously just in a corner, keeping some kids in an illusory high school where they
Yeah.
wanted to be. And
Totally
Petrova,
normal.
who was committing so much murder. Like, we got opposite ends of the spectrum here.
Yes.
So while I don't want to believe that, oh, the boss monsters are all victims in the scenario, we don't know who started it. I don't know if I believe the alien invasion scenario, just because, again,
Mm.
I have the whole thing about, pretty sure they killed the dragon and are using its body for murder. I think that hammer was part of the spine. Uh, it looked
Ooh.
like
Yes.
vertebrae to me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just, at this point, I don't know who to believe. And I don't really believe anyone. And I think that's the point.
Yeah. I'd go with that because it is the. I don't know if I would fully trust this monster who, is about to die of like, oh, you guys aren't necessarily the good guys and, we're victims. I couldn't fully believe that if it's just said, but then we already know as you're saying, Dragon Keepers are not all in the up and up, not 100% respectable and safe. So there could be other things going on. I'd be very curious of how soon do we, the viewers, get those layers pulled back on this society of what's going on with the Dragon Keepers and what are they really doing and how did this really start? Or we might not get that much information anyway, because that would have to be Dee finding out. And I'm like, he might get some. I think it'll take a long time to get everything.
We do get scenes. We do get scenes away from him, and we do get flashbacks. So I do trust this show to eventually tell us what's up. I don't know how long the show is going to be. I don't know how long the manga is right now. Again, it seems like we're peeling back layers pretty slowly, but if there's a lot of layers, that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm with you. And yeah, at this point, don't know who to trust. Don't know if I trust anyone. And I kind of love that Dee is still so uncommitted about everything. Like, he's committed to taking down the Dragon Keepers. He has no plans. He tells himself he doesn't care about anyone, but he definitely cares about his people. So, and his circle of people is ever expanding. Yep. It's, I don't care. I'm a monster. I mean, buddy, you had that whole fantasy about like ruling the world so you could take your human friends out to dinner. Like, dude, that's not what someone who doesn't care fantasizes about. Like, dude.
Oh, totally.
And he's clueless about himself. So I'm here for a clueless protagonist and a much more complicated world that the story is not afraid to show us. Like, nobody's in the right here. Absolutely nobody is in the right. And that's what makes it so interesting.
Because the other thing, that's a like morality question, I guess, is for those students who are stuck there, chose to be there. You know, is it good to keep them there because it is an idyllic world, but at the same time, you're also in a lie. It's not real. And it's just kind of that same day, too. Well, it does expand. That's true. If nothing happens, it probably does expand. But I don't know. To me, that just sounds like, you know, it's a bird cage. It's a pretty cage. You can see the outside, but you're still stuck. So, or gilded cage is the expression. Yeah. So I'm like, no, I don't like it. But I don't think I think not that it makes the monsters good, but it definitely, on the other end, I don't think the Rangers are 100% good. You know, like, it's not one of those teeter-totters that want, just because, you know, Rangers good, monsters bad. It's more monsters have levels going on, and there are plenty of them that are just murdering people. But the Rangers are killing people too. So there is some question there of how lawful and good are they.
And I mean, again, we've seen our two extremes in terms of boss monsters. Like, our introduction to an active boss monster was Peltrola, God, going around doing just so many murders for the heckin' fun of it.
Yep.
And Magatia, who I would imagine he skins the occasional student.
Yeah. Well,
messed up, let's be real.
Or asked for a volunteer. He did ask for a volunteer.
Gato knew what he was volunteering for. Don't know if any student would.
That's true.
But yeah, the idea being that we're all just going to hang out here. These are all my students now. And also this keeper who decided that he didn't want to, like, this junior second rank who decided that he just did not want to be a dragon keeper anymore. So he's mine now too. And he gets to be a position of authority in this school. And that's cool. And we're all cool. And everything's fine. And I'm 100% with you on, is it kinder to leave them in the illusion or not? And it's one of those, they're teenagers, and presumably they are teenagers that are coming from more difficult situations. I'm remembering that one of the kidnapping cases was a shut-in, that he just didn't leave his room.
Yeah.
And so it would make sense for them not to want to go back to whatever difficult situation they were in, whether it was actually really rough on them or whether they just perceived it as being bad. Because, you know, when you're a teenager, everything is at 100.
Yeah.
It really, I'm sure there were a lot of, yes, this is a bad scenario. And I'm sure there was a lot of, I just don't want to be in this situation anymore. They're, instead of sticking it through, like seeing it through and coming out the other side, they had the option to bail and go to something that wasn't real. And
Yeah.
on the one hand, if you are in a situation where there are situations where it's just bad and it's difficult to get your way out of it, poverty, abuse, etc. I'm not saying, oh, these kids should just bootstrap, they'll be fine. No, no, no. But for the
Yeah.
kids where it's like, no, generally speaking, your life is okay. You've got a loving family, you're well cared for, you're just having a tough time right now because you're a teenager and sometimes life sucks and you're still learning how to deal with that. There is value in learning how to deal with that, and escaping into this
Mhm.
illusion
Mhm.
doesn't help them grow up, doesn't help them develop that
Yep.
part of their brains, doesn't help them be resilient. It's the same idea as having AI do your homework for you. Like, you have to learn to persevere, that's part of it.
Yes.
And if you outsource that to a machine or to an illusion monster, you're never going to
Mhm.
build that resiliency yourself. You're never going to learn how to get through these situations, and it doesn't last forever.
Yep.
Feels like forever when you're a teenager, but it doesn't last forever.
True.
So,
Well, unless you're
it
in a
is
time
one of
loop,
those,
it is
yeah,
forever.
unless you're, so it is one of those things where, yeah, it probably is better to get them out of this thing that isn't real, but that's also where we need to have people who can help, people who can readjust them back to life, people who can get them out of bad situations, because I'm
Mhm.
sure there were plenty of
Mhm.
kids in there who were in bad situations. And again, we just, who cares? We're done. Goodbye. And just left this gaggle of angry children. Like, this is not a solution.
No.
This is, you killed the monster, but you didn't solve the problem.
Nope.
But the Dragon Keepers aren't in the habit of solving the problem. They're only in the habit of killing the monster.
Yep.
And we've been pretty clear about, like, the detectives and their intuition being absolute bullshit.
Oh yeah.
It's like, my detective intuition says this guy is terrible. Yeah, it turns out he's the Green Keeper. Admittedly, being a keeper and being terrible are not mutually exclusive.
That's true.
But, like,
Yeah.
wow. So yeah, it's
Um,
society in this world is bad,
yeah.
actually. But there is something to be said about, if you're going to solve the problem, solve the damn problem,
Yeah.
especially if other humans are involved and dependent on it.
Yep.
I don't know, this episode, a lot of food for the brain, a lot of thinking, a
Yeah.
lot of rotisserieing. Yeah.
Looking at the live chat, we got Morningstar Bamf says hello chat or hello
Hello.
ladies in chat. Yes, hello.
Hello.
Ra yeah. Rab Adler says, show me a keeper who isn't the worst.
We don't know much about Yellow yet.
True.
And
That's
there's
only
still
one.
not a lot of, and honestly, Blue wasn't the worst. That's why
Yeah.
he had to die.
Mm,
Look at
yeah.
the show we're watching.
Yeah.
We keep saying Power Rangers does the boys. I'm like, well,
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of the other moments that really stood out. I mean, I feel we touched upon them. If there are other moments that stood out to you, of everybody watching, listening, leave a comment, let us know. Yeah, this one was interesting because we had our action fighting in a way, but definitely a lot more like pondering moralities and is it worth it or not? Because yeah, it's like, you know, different kinds of aid or charity in the real world of sure you can help people, but if you're not providing the infrastructure for it to continue on or for them to continue their lives, okay, cool, you got rid of a problem, but that made another kind of problem and didn't solve anything for these students. Their life is back to what it was. So,
it's the idea
yay.
of, like,
Uh,
busing a city's homeless population to another city.
yeah.
You didn't solve anything. You
Mm-hmm.
just took it off of your plate.
Yep.
It's like, that doesn't actually help anyone
Yep.
but you.
Mm-hmm. So we'll see of what I'd be curious if we touch upon that again because you know, it was a big deal of students left behind. But okay, so actually something else we didn't get to. We got a last image of our character in the garbage.
Right.
Yes.
Sakurama got he
Yes.
came to see Magatia and he got presumably the heck beaten out of him and then thrown in the trash.
Yes.
I find it
he,
hilarious, honestly.
yeah.
Shouldn't be funny, but it's kind of funny.
Well, I'm just glad, you know, we found him again because I was thinking that. I was wondering if he was going to be in that crowd. I was like, oh, wait, is he going to be in the crowd? Like, they solved the problem and he's going to be there in the group? No. He was literally taken out of the trash and presumably we hope he's alive.
Also, that trash pile was huge.
Ginormous.
Huge.
At least
And there was
he was closer
dudes
to the top, though.
through the trash pile.
Yeah.
So again, talking
Mhm.
about how this neighborhood and possibly this entire city are not doing well.
No.
Like
Yeah.
again, this is the system has failed these people
Mhm.
and potentially this entire dang city. It's like,
Yes.
well, the keepers aren't going to do anything about it. They're all about the flash and glitz and publicity.
Mhm.
Oops.
Yep. Was there anything else that we didn't get to on this episode for you?
I don't think so. I mean, I think our big like Sakuga hoedown, showdown, throwdown fight was last episode with our
Yes, that was.
deserter.
Mhm.
And this one was wrapping everything up with the time loop and the hilariously smaller fight against the bigger threat. And our wrap up are
Mhm.
we live in a society and society has failed and let's
Mhm.
gaslight a small child.
Mhm. Who's luckily still alive for now.
Yeah. Yeah,
For
the
now.
only reason that kid is still alive is because they were in public. Let's be real.
Yeah.
I would not
I
put
don't
it
know.
past
I was
the
like,
keeper.
it could even in public, but a child is pretty hard to, you know, write that off of a problem. So
He tends not to do his beat a man to death murders in public because
True.
it's bad for the image.
Yeah,
We
that is
had him
true.
doing that in the Sunday Showdown, and they had to cut the footage for a minute.
Mhm.
So
True. So we shall see what happens
Yeah.
next. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on this episode down below. And now, get into some other stuff you should check out, movies, games, shows, books, whatever that we're checking out that we think you should check out. I went to a film festival this weekend, and it's the Indian Film Festival of Los Angeles, and I saw the closing night film, which is Little Jaffna, and it is a Tamil French film, and it's based on real stuff, but not necessarily a true. I was like, I don't think it's a true story, but I think it's based on real things, and it's pretty much refugee people from Sri Lanka have come to France, and they're still fighting like civil war against their government, kind of a thing, and the refugees who have left are sending money back, and so that's the Tamil Tigers who are fighting, and this guy who is of that ethnic group becomes an undercover cop to find information on what are they doing and find the infrastructure of how they're sending money. So it's really a interesting thriller, and the visual style of it was fun. Of like the music, I really liked how they incorporated that, and it really is kind of like identity because of do you belong to like where you came from? Do you belong to where you are now? And can you belong to both? And so some interesting questions along that line, and just identity and what that really means and family. So I thought that was really cool. In film festivals, movies, it's hard to say when they'll be available, but yeah, keep an eye out for Little Jaffna. And I was like, yeah, because I was like little, I think it's because I wrote it down. I thought it sounded like I didn't hear the end, but then I'm like, oh, that's what it is. Yeah, Little Jaffna. It actually came out in 2017, which I was like, oh, but or at least maybe that was when it was made, but maybe different times for delayed, because when you look it up, that's when it says it came out. But it says release date France, April 30th, I'm like, April. Yeah, I was like, what month are we?
Yeah.
April
May.
30th,
We're in May.
2025.
Yeah.
So it's possible he made part of it because I was like, why does it say that? You know, when you look stuff up and you're like, that's not the date.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, I thought it was interesting. It's cool indie movie, and if you're into those kind of films, should check it out. And I also think it's just something where I appreciated learning about different historical stuff. I knew a little bit, but not really. So I always appreciate that of like, I did not know. So it's cool to learn about it. I think that's about it. Still behind watching some Zenshu, but not a lot, not catching up just yet. And I want more Apothecary Diaries because that's coming out slowly, but it's so good. So good. And they finally got to a point where we had a prediction and now the characters know that prediction. So you're like, yay.
Nice.
You're like, oh, I thought it was this. And the character figured it out. And it is that. So yay. Finer details, we'll see what that means later. But so don't worry, not spoilers. But there's some fun stuff as it goes.
All right.
What about you?
I am also behind on all my weekly watches. It's been everything has happened so much and we're just trying to keep up, you know? It has been a little busy. I will say, my local game store has started doing a thing where if you want to learn to play a game, they have little events where it's like, okay, you sign up for $10 and it gets you a starter deck for the game in question and a tutorial for people who know what they're doing.
That's cool.
So I got into Lorcana this weekend.
I
am back into...
I've seen those. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm back in trading card hell. I went to support my local game store, and because I have a friend who's really into it, and I'm like, all right, $10 for a starter deck and a tutorial. Awesome. I think I played for 3 hours.
Hey, that's a good time.
I actually tested this deck at the store. This isn't the deck that they gave us at the store.
Oh, okay.
They gave a lot of us the same deck at the store. So after the first couple games playing against another newbie, we were like, okay, we kind of see how the back and forth is going with this. So then the store pulled out the decks that they owned, and I got to test drive this one. And then I ordered it same day, so now it's here. And Lorcana nights at the local store are Friday nights. And if it weren't my birthday party on Friday night, I would be going back to the local store to play.
That's
get my butt kicked by all the veterans.
Hey, that's a fun game, though. That sounds fun.
It was very easy to play. It's a lot, to my understanding, it's a lot closer to like Magic the Gathering mechanics.
Okay.
And the only trading card game that I ever learned how to play was Yu-Gi-Oh, which is very different from this. Yeah. So I was definitely bringing in some understanding of like, all right, this affects this affects this, these stack, whatever. But definitely did not bring in the, okay, the win, there's not life points, there's not this, there's not, the win condition is not clearing the field, the win condition is racking up these other points. It's like, okay, rewire the brain. So I've only been playing this game for about 48 hours, and I'm already looking at this and going, so this is a purple-silver deck, but I think I'm also going to build a red-yellow deck, because that's how I like to play. Trying very hard to rein it in until I can actually play more and see if this is something that sticks around. But fun. It was easy to learn. It was relatively inexpensive as far as trading card games go. I remember in the mid 2000s paying like $20, $25 for my Yu-Gi-Oh starter deck and like $10 a pack. And this was the one that I bought was on sale for $12. Full price, they're like $17. And the packs have 12 cards in them and they're like $7.99. It's relatively inexpensive for trading card game stuff. Usually they're a lot spendier than that. I'm like,
oh, interesting.
I'll take it. Let's go. So yeah, easy to pick up, easy to play, a very good time. In terms of watching stuff, Wildcard had its swan song this weekend. I knew it was coming and I wasn't prepared. It's a YouTube channel called Wildcard. That is a whole bunch of YouTubers that came together for about 2 years to just make a lot of collaborative stuff. It was helmed by Alpha Rad and Jaden Animations, which are both channels that are very, very fun. And so the idea was to bring a bunch of people together, like get audiences going, oh yeah, I actually like seeing this person in these videos. Let me go check out their channel. Let me go do this. But
Gotcha.
it's only sustainable for so long, and it had a planned ending, and the last video was this weekend.
Hmm.
But if you like Pokemon Nuzlocke, if you like Mario Party, if you like fun, weird video game challenges, like if you like watching Let's Plays that are very fun and have a lot of like interaction with the people who are playing, you will enjoy Wildcard. It is a very good time.
All right.
Yeah.
If you're watching anything, playing any cool games, reading any interesting books, leave comments, let people know what you're checking out.
Yeah.
We always like sharing and hearing about recommendations. Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much for tuning in to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar. And don't forget, go follow us on NTATMB over on Twitter and Blue Sky. Follow here on Fanversation, subscribe, give the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out our other playlists too. We have lots of fun videos of all kinds, red carpets, voice actor interviews, and much, much more. So lots of content for you all to check out. Katie, where can people find you online?
You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. I am also on a YouTube channel called Silver Screams, where my roommate and I talk horror stuff.
Nice. Yes. And y'all can find me online. I like that my hand went off and I'm like, do. Here comes it. Yes. You can all find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE on all social media platforms. Nothing particularly brand new to mention, but just follow on there, and here on Fanversation, that's where the main content will be. Stick around. We are gearing up and getting ready for Anime Expo. That's going to be soon, so we'll post links of how to watch because we're going to do a similar collaboration that we did last year. So stay tuned for those details.
Yeah,
and be sure to follow us because that's where we're going to be sharing it. So
yes.
Yeah. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.